Imagine waking up millions of years ago, not to an alarm clock or a phone buzzing on your nightstand, but to the sound of earth-shaking footsteps and a shadow passing over your entire campsite. Today, we're heading back in time, way back to prehistoric Asia, a place that makes any modern wilderness look like a luxury resort. From the Gobi Desert to the ancient forests of what is now China and Mongolia, this landscape wasn't just dangerous, it was a dinosaur battleground. And by the end of this video, you'll be very glad you weren't alive to experience the creatures that ruled this world. Let's meet 5 of the most terrifying predators that once stalked prehistoric Asia. First up is the terror of Cretaceous Mongolia, Tarbosaurus bataar. If the name sounds familiar, it should. Tarbosaurus was a close cousin, some paleontologists even say a sister species, of Tyrannosaurus rex. But unlike T-Rex, which lived in North America, this monster reigned across Asia roughly 70 million years ago. Tarbosaurus reached lengths of 10 to 12 meters, 33 to 39 feet. That's about the size of a bus, and a bus you absolutely cannot outrun. What made Tarbosaurus especially alarming wasn't just its size, but its skull. Its jaws were long and narrow, built like a flesh-cutting guillotine, packed with razor-sharp teeth. And its bite force? Probably less powerful than T-Rex's, but still strong enough to crush bone. But here's where you really wouldn't want to be around. Tarbosaurus lived in an ecosystem packed with massive prey like hadrosaurs and titanosaurs. That meant 2 things: lots of food and lots of competition. Paleontologists have found bite marks on Tarbosaurus skulls, likely made by other Tarbosaurus. Yes, these predators fought each other and sometimes ate each other too. Imagine hiking through prehistoric Mongolia and hearing those low, thunderous growls echoing in the distance. If Tarbosaurus didn't get you, the environment probably would. Next up, let's clear something up. Velociraptor was nothing like the oversized movie version. In reality, this iconic dinosaur was about the size of a turkey, roughly 2 meters long, or about 6.5 feet from nose to tail, but only about knee height to a human. But before you relax, don't. Velociraptor was still absolutely lethal. Velociraptor lived about 75 to 71 million years ago in what is now Mongolia. Its body was lightweight, covered in feathers, equipped with a deadly 7-centimeter, 2.7-inch, sickle-shaped claw on each foot. This claw wasn't for slashing wildly, it was for precision. They used it like a grappling hook to pin down struggling prey. And here's one of the most terrifying fossils ever found. A velociraptor and a protoceratops locked together in their final moments, literally frozen in combat. That means these animals didn't just scavenge, they fought prey head-on, even prey larger and stronger than themselves. If you were walking through the dunes of the ancient Gobi Desert, you wouldn't hear a velociraptor coming. Small, fast, smart. A perfect ambush predator. Now, if you thought feathers made velociraptors scary, meet its even more unusual Asian relative, Dilong paradoxus. Dilong lived roughly 126 million years ago in northeastern China. It was a small tyrannosauroid, only about 1.6 meters long, around the size of a big dog. But don't let the size fool you. Dilong represents something special. a very early stage in the evolutionary path that eventually produced giant tyrannosaurs like T. rex and Tarbosaurus. Fossils show that DeLong had proto-feathers, simple, hair-like filaments covering its body. These feathers weren't for flight, but for insulation, meaning DeLong lived in cooler climates where staying warm was key. So imagine yourself wandering through a Cretaceous forest, mist curling between the trees. Suddenly you hear rustling above. DeLong wasn't just a ground hunter. It may have been agile enough to climb or leap between branches. You look up and glowing eyes flash back at you. Not every prehistoric threat was gigantic. Some were small, silent, and capable of biting you in the leg before you even realize they were there. Let's head back to Mongolia for something uniquely terrifying: Alioramus. This Cretaceous predator lived alongside Tarbosaurus, but instead of brute force, it relied on speed and agility. Alioramus had a long, narrow snout filled with over 70 teeth, far more than most large tyrannosaurs. Picture a crocodile's bite force combined with a cheetah's speed. Alioramus reached 5 to 6 meters, 16 to 20 feet, long, making it smaller than Tarbosaurus, but likely much faster. While Tarbosaurus chased massive prey, Alioramus may have specialized in smaller, nimble animals, young dinosaurs, lizards, mammal-like creatures, anything it could catch. Because of its slender snout, some scientists believe Alioramus might have struck rapidly, almost like a bird of prey pecking or snagging. And this predator lived in floodplains prone to seasonal droughts and storms. So if the dinosaurs didn't get you, the unstable environment probably would. Imagine stepping into prehistoric Mongolia. One moment a blistering dry season, the next a deadly monsoon, while long-snouted predators weave between fallen trees and muddy channels, waiting for anything to stumble. Our final predator was small, fast, and possibly one of the most visually striking dinosaurs ever discovered: Sinosauropteryx. This tiny hunter lived about 125 million years ago in what's now China and was only 1 meter long, about the size of a house cat. But this little dinosaur is famous for something no other species had definitively revealed before: its coloration. Exceptional fossils show that Sinosauropteryx had orange-brown feathers and a distinctive banded tail, almost like a raccoon. Scientists think this coloration might have been used for camouflage, or even to warn predators that it was dangerous, much like modern venomous or toxic animals. Did Sinosauropteryx have venom? We don't know, but it had forward-facing eyes, sharp teeth, and the predator instincts of a tiny raptor. This is the kind of dinosaur that could chase early mammals or insects through dense underbrush, and possibly nip you before you even noticed it hiding in the ferns. You wouldn't expect prehistoric Asia to be full of such small killers, but here we are. So why are you glad you weren't around in prehistoric Asia? Because the continent was a predator paradise. From giant bone-crushing tyrants like Tarbosaurus, to fast feathered hunters like Velociraptor, to small but deadly creatures like Sinosauropteryx, Asia was home to some of the most diverse and dangerous ecosystems in Earth's history. You'd face forests full of clawed ambushers, deserts filled with pack hunters, and floodplains prowled by sleek killers with more teeth than you'd care to count. Survival? Unlikely. Curiosity satisfied? Hopefully. Thanks for watching, and remember, be grateful your biggest problem today is your alarm clock and not a 12-ton apex predator sniffing around your campsite.